What's going on? Y'all better talk back to me.
How are you?
All right. So, by show of hands, who can remember their last year? Because you guys are 7th grade, right?
Yeah.
Remember last year in the 6th grade? Raise your hand if you remember that year. Now, let's try this one. Raise your hand if you liked your 6th grade year, if it was fun for you. Okay, most of y'all. Well, it wasn't fun for me. I remember my 6th grade year, and it was not fun. As a matter of fact, my 6th grade year was one of the worst years of my life. And the reason it was one of the worst years of my life was because I didn't pass 6th grade. I didn't. I had to repeat the 6th grade. So I already didn't like the grade, and then I had to do it again because I did not do my work the way I was supposed to, and my grades were not high as they should have been. And I can still remember the day like it was yesterday. I'm sitting in the class, doing my work, minding my own business. Well, actually, no, I wasn't doing my work. I'm joking. But I was sitting in the class, and I remember the principal walking in the room. She handed me a letter and set it on my desk. And I'm thinking, all right, if I get a letter, it's bad news. Whenever I got any type of letter, it was always bad news. It was never good news. So I'm like, what could this letter be? So it was addressed to my mom. It wasn't even addressed to me. So what do you guys think I did? Yeah, I opened it. Don't do what I did. Don't open the letter if it's addressed to your parents. But no, I opened this letter, and the letter said, due to your child's academic performance, he will not be advancing to the next grade. And I'm like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me, right? You telling me that I have to come back to school the next year and repeat this grade again? I'm like, oh man, this over. It's over. It's done. I can't believe this. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part about this was I had to figure out how I was going to break this bad news to my mom. That was the hard part, okay? I'm like, how am I going to tell my mama I got to repeat the 6th grade? Like, she going to kill me. Like, I know it's going to happen. So the whole day, I'm trying to, like, devise this perfect plan of how I'm going to get my mom this letter. So I'm thinking, okay, here's what I can do. I'm on my way home now. You know, I'm on the bus on my way home, and I'm like, I know what I can do. I'm going to stop at the store before I get home, and I'm going to buy a candy bar. And I'm going to give her this letter with the candy bar. I'm like, nah, it's not a good idea. I was like, I don't have no money, and if I did have a candy bar, I'm really hungry. I probably would eat the candy bar right now. Okay, so that's not a good idea. Second thing, I'm like, well, maybe I can just walk in the house and kind of set it on the table, and, you know, she'll just find it whenever. I'm like, nah, that's not a good idea. Third idea, I'm like, well, maybe I can mysteriously lose the letter on my way home. Then I was like, you know what? Nah, I'm not going through all that. It is what it is. She gonna just have to deal with the fact that I gotta repeat the 6th grade. I'm gonna man up, and I'm gonna walk in that house, and I'm gonna give her this letter, and she gonna just deal with it. So my confidence was like on 10, right? So as soon as I walked in the house and I seen my mom, what do you think happened to my confidence? It fell. It dropped all the way down to 0. I'm like, hey, Mom. Like, my chest was stuck out. As soon as I seen her, I was like, oh. Gave her the letter. She looks at the letter, folds it back up, puts it in the envelope, and walks away. Okay, that scared me. Because this part of my mom, I had never seen before. You know how your parents are. You can read your parents. You know when you do certain things, it gets a certain reaction from them. This little silent reaction, never seen it before, so it freaked me out. So I came to 2 conclusions. Either A, she didn't care, or B, she was so mad at me that she didn't have any words. And it was B. Okay, she was so mad she didn't have any words. So she didn't say anything else about it, neither did I. So a few weeks pass by, I get a knock on the door, and it's one of my boys. He's like, yo, Lon, you want to go outside and play some football? I'm like, yeah, I'll be out there. I'm like, I'm a little dude, you know, it ain't going to be much I can do, but yeah, I'll come out and play some football. And so I'm putting my shoes on, get ready to go outside, play some football. And the way we play football, I grew up in Detroit, okay, so we used to play block versus block. 2-hand touch in the street, sideline tackle on the grass. All right, if y'all know what I'm talking about, that's how we used to play. So I'm getting ready to go outside. My mom like, where you going? I was like, oh, I'm about to go outside and play football. She's like, no, you're not. I'm like, why not? Why can't I go play football? She goes and gets the letter. This is why. Points to it. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. Seriously, I can't play football because of this letter? Nope. Go back in your room. A few weeks later, I get another knock at the door. One of my boys like, dude, you want to play basketball? I'm like, oh, for sure. I was like, dude, I'm about to MJ somebody all day. I'm crossing somebody over. It's going down. Putting my shoes on, getting ready to go outside. My mom like, where you going? Oh, I'm about to go play basketball. You know, it's a nice day. I'm about to go out. You know, I want to make the NBA. I got to get my practice in, right? You ain't going nowhere. Why? She goes and gets the letter. This is why. I'm like, oh, come on. I'm like, Ma, it's a beautiful sunny day outside. It's a sunny day. I need the sunlight. I'm short. I got to grow. I need the sunlight. She's like, okay, you want some sunlight? You want to go outside? Go cut the grass. I'm like, oh, come on. Are you serious? I'm cutting the grass. All my boys laughing at me because they playing basketball. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst part was later in the summer, maybe about a month before school started, I get a phone call, and it's one of my friends again. And he's like, dude, guess what? I'm like, what? I'm going to Cedar Point this weekend. I'm like, so? Why are you telling me? I don't care. He's like, no, you're not understanding me, bro. My cousin was supposed to go with me, but he can't go now. So I got an extra ticket, and I'm giving the ticket to you. I'm like, really? I was like, oh, snap, it's going down. I'm about to go to Cedar Point. He was like, look, and check it out. You ain't got to pay for nothing. Tickets paid for, food's paid for. You don't even have to have your mom drop you off. We gonna come pick you up. All you gotta do is get her permission. I'm like, oh, I'm going to Cedar Point. It's about to go down, right? So I'm being real nice. You know, when you want something from your parents, you start being real nice. I started doing stuff around the house, doing little chores. Like, you need anything else, Mom? Okay, you know, you're awesome, Mom. You're the best mom in the world. Trying to be real nice, right? So I'm like, Mom, can I go to Cedar Point this weekend? Before you answer, let me lay it out for you. Number one, you don't have to pay for anything. Number two, all the food's going to be paid for. Number three, you don't even have to take your hard-earned money to put gas in the car to drive me there. They're coming to pick me up. And the last thing is this. Since you're such a great mom, and I know you're looking out for my safety, you don't have to worry if I'm in good hands or not, because you know the parents. So you know I'm going to be in good hands. Can I go? She goes and gets the letter again, points to it. I'm like, oh no, are you serious? I can't go to Cedar Point. Nope. And I remember thinking, like, I'm making a joke about it now, but at that time I was like, man, my life is over. It's done. I was like, I'm gonna be on lockdown forever. Like, I can't do nothing. But it really got worse when the school year started. It really kind of was pulling on my self-esteem, because when I got back to school, all of the kids that was in my grade the year before had obviously moved on. They were laughing, making jokes, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that in the hallway. So I'm like, man, I'm thinking like I am like the biggest loser, the biggest failure. Like, there's no way possible that I can bounce back from that. I remember feeling like my life was completely over, and there was no way that I was going to be able to turn this around. And for some of you guys sitting in here right now, you may be in that same situation. Now, understand me, it doesn't have to be an academic situation for you. But raise your hand if you've made a mistake. Yeah. Everybody in here has made a mistake. Each and every last one of you guys have made a mistake. But what I had to learn is my mistakes did not define who I was. Just like your mistakes don't define who you are. I had to learn that. I didn't learn it overnight. It took me a while to get there, but I eventually learned it. So by the time I had got out of middle school, I finished my 9th grade year, going on to 10th grade, I had pulled my GPA up from like a 1.2 all the way to like a 3.2. Huge turnaround. I would have never ever thought that I could do it. But I did not let my mistakes define who I was. Look at it like this. Every day that you wake up in the morning, you got to look at it as an opportunity. Don't look at it as a day that's saying, hey, I got to get up, I got to go to school, I got to do some stupid homework, I got to do this, I got to do that. No, look at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to fix yesterday's mistakes. And it's an opportunity for you to get closer to your goals and closer to your dreams. And the reason I can tell you that story, and I can tell you all these things, is because I've been through it. I know what it's like. But I turned my life completely around. If you would have asked me back in the 6th grade, would I have graduated high school, I would have laughed in your face, because I didn't think I could do it. If you would have asked me in the 6th grade, do I think I would be married to this day, I would have laughed in your face, because I didn't think it was ever going to happen. You know, I've been married 6.5 years. And I have 2 boys. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-week-old. My wife just had a baby. So I'm telling you guys this because I've been there. I know what it's like to be in a situation where you feel like, you know, the odds are against you. There's no way you can get past this. But I got past it. And you can get past it as well. Hard work, determination, focus.